Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another video leading up to The Walking Dead Season 7, of course, on AMC. Wanted to get a Walking Dead video posted for you guys, as we haven't been doing too many lately with the finale for Game of Thrones. In this one, we're going to be talking about Walking Dead Season 7 and what I want to see. So I thought this one would be fun for us this year. I do it pretty much every year for The Walking Dead, just to kind of give my thoughts on some things I want to see from the season, kind of a list. There isn't too much new with regards to Walking Dead news the last week or two with the big Game of Thrones finale and everything. There was like some tweets from Reedus. It was kind of cool to find out that he actually likes and watches Game of Thrones. I guess he was as impressed with the finale as we were from the looks of it. I'll put the links in the description. It's still a few weeks from SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con 2016. That's where we get to see the trailer, the big trailer for Walking Dead, as well as there's usually some stuff for the Walking Dead comic book series, some news for that and everything, and all kinds of new stuff, which is pretty cool to see, as well as other shows too, and movies and all that. It's Comic-Con's always a fun time. So that's July 21st through the 24th this year, roughly. And then, of course, there's some new merchandise that TheWalkingDead.com with Skybound Kirkman have shown for The Walking Dead. There's some pretty cool merchandise. I'll also put the link in the description for that. There's like some kind of, they're almost like Nerf, Nerf guns, that kind of deal. I'm not really into them too much, but they're fun. When I was younger and stuff, used to, me and my friends, we'd run around and shoot each other, stuff like that. It's always fun. There's like some Nerf-style Walking Dead guns and stuff like that. There's another Negan Lucille bat, which is looks better than last year's version. It looks bigger, and it's pretty cool. It's got the barbed wire wrap and the kind of the circular black oval on it. So that looks pretty cool. And there's just a few other things, like with regards to hardcovers and stuff, variants, Negan covers, and he's got all kinds of different covers with him from other Skybound artists like Birthright and other series that are out there for The Walking Dead variant covers, which is pretty fun with Negan stuff. So it's fun. And that's really all that's been released right now. There hasn't been too much released from AMC yet. We haven't had any sneak peeks, promos, trailers, banners, anything like that like we usually do. But it's already July, man. This year is flying. This break is flying through. So before soon, I'm sure, within a couple weeks, we'll start getting stuff. And the big trailer should be awesome in about 3 weeks. So stuff I want to see for Season 7, man. Obviously, right off the bat, going to see the death of whoever Negan kills off, which is still debated even to this point, but it looks like the discussion now has started to kind of, people are just like, have had enough talking about it. They're just going to wait at this point and find out who it is. Apparently, I've seen people in comments say, oh, it is spoiled, this kind of thing. I'm staying out of it. I don't know for sure. I've heard a lot of different things, but it's whatever. If it's spoiled, it's spoiled. So be it. If it's leaked, it's leaked. It's what it is. But it looks like AMC is doing the best they can to kind of keep a lid on it as best as they can this year. Maybe that's why we haven't gotten too much stuff in the last week or two for Walking Dead, is because maybe AMC doesn't want to release that much stuff this year. I'm not sure. We'll see. Hopefully the trailer's good, though. Hopefully they don't hold back on the trailer due to the, the big character death and the finale type deal. So, number one I want to see for Season 7. Negan's comedic side. Definitely number one for me. I feel like in the television series version, not Jeffrey Dean Morgan's fault, and definitely something to fear. The route they wanted to go with Negan right off the bat is that they wanted to kind of show that's kind of scary, something to fear side of Negan, so him joking around and kind of being silly. I guess at this point, they decided not to do much of in the TV series, or it is very serious in the finale for the TV series version. There's not too much joking around from, JDM as Negan. So that's my number one that I can't wait to see in the TV series version, because right now, every time I read the Walking Dead comic series, every time Negan has stuff going on, whether he's playing ping pong, or he's just got dialogue, or he's talking to the Whisperers, or he's going after Alpha or Rick, or whatever he's doing, it's always really fun, and it's usually very funny. In the TV series version, we haven't seen any of that side of him yet. So with season 7 coming up, I'm hoping that in the premiere or very early on, they start to bring in some kind of those kind of comedian jokes from JDM and really get to see that kind of comedic side of Negan, because we haven't seen any of it yet in the live action version. Maybe there'll be some stuff on the Blu-ray or DVD where he's swearing and stuff. We'll see what it ends up like. But overall for season 7, we got to see more from Negan with regards to his comedic side. We got to hear more jokes. We got to hear more penis comments and size comparisons and whatever else craziness Negan is going to come up with in his speeches and what have you. So that's number 1 for me. Number 2 is we got to see Carl become more badass. We started to see a little bit of it in the finale where he's Chandler Riggs. He's just like, let's just go, let's get him, this kind of thing. And he's just ready to go after him. So that was pretty cool. A little bit with Ron earlier on, but not that much. It's quite a bit different in the Walking Dead comic book series to the TV series, where in the comic book series, he kills Ben, who is the version in the comic book series of your, Lizzie and Mika. So it's quite a bit different, his path in the Walking Dead comic book series, and just all the things that happen with him. The TV series version up to this point is not nearly as badass, I want to say, as the comic book version. Maybe it's just me as a viewer, maybe it's just what I've seen, but we really need to see some darker stuff from Carl, I think, and we're getting to some of those parts in the comic book series now, or at this point in the TV series, as it's syncing up and it's catching up to some of those parts where we really start to see a dark change in Carl, and we start to see him do a lot more darker things, and become a lot more vicious and a lot more kind of, I don't want to say crazy, but just overall darker. He's got to become more badass. He's got to become crazier. He's got to become darker. And I haven't felt that yet watching the TV series version nearly as much as the comic book series version. So that's number 2. Number 3 is I can't wait to see Daryl get his revenge on Dwight. This is one for sure for me. After everything that's happened in season 6, Dwight has bested Daryl a couple times now. He's betrayed him. Daryl has never been able to get him back for that, even though he's consumed with rage and he wants to go after him and he wants to take him down and everything. He hasn't been able to best Dwight yet. But, it's Daryl. Daryl's pretty much one of the toughest characters in Rick's group all the way through the series, if not the toughest. We got to see him do something. I mean, the guy's taking out a tank, for God's sake. We got to see him do something. We got to see him get Dwight in some way. So that, for me, is definitely got to be on the list before season 7 ends. I really want to see Daryl get his revenge on Dwight in some way. Number 4, and this one sounds like it's probably not going to happen, is I would like to see a real tiger for Shiva. Hopefully. It's probably not going to happen. It sounds like from what we've heard so far, it's probably going to be CG in interviews and that. But who knows? I would love to see a real tiger. But it sounds like maybe just to keep everybody safe for safety and so nobody gets mauled on set from all the zombies scaring the tiger. I guess if you think about it, yeah, that might be a little tricky when you have all these zombies around, horror show, and you've got a tiger. The tiger might get freaked out and start mauling somebody or hurting people. So we'll see. But I'd like to see a real tiger, and hopefully they can make it happen. But likely it's probably going to be CG. So we'll see. Number 5 is going to be some more add-ins. So usually we're always pissed when The Walking Dead does add stuff in that isn't in the comic book series that we are kind of not used to. Some of the story arcs would be like, for example, the Beth story arc in season 5, and almost the stuff with Tyrese in season 5 too, and just a lot of the stuff that they have added in the past, the sickness at the prison, some people have been upset by. Me personally, I do like the add-ins sometimes. We haven't had too much in terms of add-ins in season 6. It wasn't nearly as much as there was in season 4 or season 5. I can't really think of like a whole story arc add-in. Instead, what they did with season 6 was they extended they added in a little bit, but they extended the storyline over a few episodes, like the kind of monster movie feel of all the zombies coming through from the quarry. and being let out in that into No Way Out. So they changed it around, and it was great and really well done. But I'd like to almost see, it might be tricky because you got the Negan stuff going on right now. But I would really like to see some kind of add-ins or something so that they don't just blaze through the Negan stuff, because it is so great. And, I'd like to see it last at least a few seasons for All Out War. I'd like to see it so that they don't finish All Out War in like one season or two, because at the pacing it's going at season 6, like the second half of season 6, it gets me feeling almost like All Out War could even be a season and a half or something. And I think it should be longer than that. I'm not sure what it is they should add in, but I'd like to see some more add-ins that are quality. And so we'll see. Sometimes it's like, we get mad if it's not too close to the comics. Sometimes we get mad if it's too far away. I think it's kind of a gradient, or kind of hard for them to kind of on the scale. But, somewhere find a happy medium in the middle, somewhere there where they add in enough stuff. Season 6 had a pretty good, but maybe a little bit more, as long as it's good quality. Which it isn't always, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's the weaker stuff in The Walking Dead. I think a good example of good quality might be Terminus, where they add in the Terminus stuff to go with the Hunters, so the Hunters don't just attack the group out of nowhere like in the comic book series. They add in Terminus, they have it as the location, and it was a great add-in, I want to say. I don't think anybody complained, really, about the Terminus add-in for the Hunters. I think it made it even better. So maybe something like that they could do. We'll see what they've got in mind, but yeah. Number 6, more characters from the Kingdom. So in the Walking Dead comic book series, we don't really get to know almost anybody from the Kingdom. There's almost no point of view characters there. There's Ezekiel, there's the Tiger, of course, Shiva, but there isn't really anybody else there who, stands out for the most part. I'd like to see some more characters kind of stand out from the Kingdom, or at least be point of view, or, just get a little bit more of a sense of what they've gone through throughout the zombie apocalypse. And it's 16 episodes of the season, so I'm sure we can get at least a little bit of time, and there should be some. So I'm guessing we will see that, but I'd like to see some more standout characters from the Kingdom, almost similar to from the Hilltop, how you have Jesus, who's a standout, character. Paul Roviet is what he says his name. Monroe in the comics, Roviet in the TV series. They changed his last name. It makes sense because they don't want people to think that he's just related to. I always thought it was weird, related to Douglas or Deanna or something. So more standout characters from the Kingdom is what I'm saying. Hopefully, or at least one more, aside from Ezekiel. And number 7, I want Carol to want to live again. I want her to kind of figure out her psychology. I want her to figure out herself and her stuff, and psychologically just kind of change again, so that she realizes what she's fighting for, and that she can create value for the group, that she is of value to the group, and she can help protect them and do everything. And even though it's painful, that's part of life. Pain is part of life. It's not something you can avoid. It's not something you can ignore entirely. As you go through life, parts of life are going to be painful. Things are going to happen. You're going to lose people you love. It's part of it's part of our existence. So I want her to figure out her stuff. I want her Thanatos to kind of be kind of reduced by Eros, or her feeling of wanting to live again, wanting to do well, and for everybody there to survive and to protect as many people as possible and contribute. So I want her to figure out her stuff, basically, is what it is, and not be suicidal anymore, or just not care about herself, disrespect herself. Number 8. I want to see a Negan flashback, or it could be a Dwight flashback, because that'd be cool too. But I want to see maybe an episode or 2 episodes, or they could do like an extended episode like they did with Morgan in season 5. Here's not here. Something with Negan, like a flashback. Like, how did he here's Negan from the comic book series, as that's going right now. Just how he became Negan, how he became this guy in the TV series that had like 100 people under him. How did he do this? How did he build this? I'd like to see a flashback. I'd like to see something. Hopefully they can add in some comedy in there, because it's crucial. It's vital to the character, and just get some feels and see what it was like for him to build the Savior. So this is cool. And last one's going to be, I want to see Rick whoop Gregory's ass because Gregory did not tell them about what they were dealing with, did not tell them about Negan, and he must have had some idea who Negan was and what he was dealing with and everything, and the amount of numbers that Negan had. So I want to see, live action version, Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes beat the crap out of Gregory. If you don't remember, the leader from the Hilltop. And yeah, man, that's going to be it for what I want to see. I mean, that's about as many things as I can think of. So hopefully we'll see most of them, and you guys can write your list below what you think. Below, let me know what you think about those kind of updates and stuff. Like I said, SDCC merch and Norman Reedus watching Game of Thrones and everything. You can write in the comments below, and what you want to see, write in the comments below. If you liked this video, please don't forget to thumb it up, guys. Please thumb it up. Always helps out. Sharing and favoriting also helps out the channel, and subscribing, of course, as well too. Also helps out the channel. So don't forget to subscribe. Bottom left, guys, for the sub. And yeah, that's it for this one. Write what you guys think below. Send me any questions for Q&A. We'll do a Walking Dead Q&A this week. And yeah, that's it for this video today. I'll see you guys again real soon. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.
You better subscribe.